Welcome to episode 4. Four of the Provo Library podcast. I'm Erica Hill. I'm the Community Relations Manager.
I'm Carla Gordon. I'm the Library Director.
And we are here with
Breanne Gilroy. I'm the Adult and Teen Services Manager for the library.
Very good. And we're excited to talk to you today, Breanne.
Hey.
We're going to start by talking about a conversation that nearly every person who works at a library, not even librarian, but just every person who works at a library has had at some point in their career. I'm not going to ask you how many times you've had this conversation, but I'm going to bet it's more than 10. That someone finds out, oh, you work at the library. It's my dream. I love to read. Yeah. And how accurate is that perception about what you do in your day-to-day life?
It's not super accurate. If you're dreaming of working in a library, I don't recommend doing it for the peaceful environment and reading the ability that you have. It's not something we run into.
You're mostly just busy all the time, and you see the books you want to read, and then you take them home and they sit there and mock you because you don't have time to read them, but you go back to work the next day and find more books that you would like to read that you may never get to.
And then you check them out on Libby and you listen to them.
Well,
wow.
You vacuum. Yep, that's what you
do. So today we're going to talk a little bit about what librarians actually do in this modern environment. These modern days. We're talking about technology and the kinds of things that we do.
Yeah.
So first question is kind of a broad question. But we do every once in a while have a person who asks it. Why does technology belong in a library? Why aren't we just about books?
When I hear this question, I think of a video I saw on Facebook where they were the first person introduced a book as technology. And it was confusing, how do I turn the page? And anyways, because it used to be a scroll, so switching from scroll. Anyways. Books are technology as well, and just computers are the new avenue, and by newer way to access information. So where it used to be books, and it still is books, there are also other ways. And so really libraries are about information, and definitely in today's world, technology is how we get information. How we store it, how we share it.
Yeah, I joke that libraries are like the original Google, because that used to be a huge part of being in a library, working in a library, was answering questions. People would call and ask, when was the president born? They still do that, but it's not as frequent anymore because you can Google it now. Libraries had a big job where they had to transition from providing a lot of that information over the phone, in person, and instead changing to creating access to where you can find that information and how you can look it up, reducing paywalls, prohibit people from being able to find academic types of information or, just good information. So that's kind of the big change that libraries have gone through in the past 2 decades. And as information centers, definitely technology goes along with that. And then also libraries are trying to provide resources for their communities. And in this day and age, that includes technology for sure. There's so much technology out there that is a huge resource and is so helpful for people in our community. And so we want to make sure that we're helping to create access to those kinds of technologies, enabling people to come in and play with things or schedule times when they can take it home. So that's what we're all about.
Yeah. I was going to say the term that we use a lot is bridging that digital divide, because right now to function in our society, you really do have to have a certain amount of familiarity with technology and with computers and being able to do that. And so there's not always a lot of places where you can learn those things without having access. And you think about, you have to pay to get internet, but if you can come someplace and have that access, you can learn and function in today's world without that. And so we're always trying to provide that bridge so that people that can't access the technology have a way to access it and hopefully improve their lives and be able to do the things that you just have to do. If you haven't filled out an online form in your life,
Where have you been
Where have you
learning?
been? Tell me, and I might go there sometime.
But they're still out there for
Yeah,
sure,
yeah.
and we see them every day actually, and we're here for them. So yeah.
Question number 2, what technologies do we offer?
This is where I get excited because I could talk for the rest of our time about the stuff that we're offering. So I divided it into 3 categories. So the first one is things that we provide online all the time that people can access anywhere they are, that you have a computer or a device. So certainly databases fall into that, where we have resources that we're subscribed to, we're paying for, that we provide to our patrons for free. My favorite one right now is Lynda. Lynda.com.
LinkedIn Learning.
It changed its name.
It did.
So that's actually helpful because I'm sure there's people out there that remember Lynda.
And they're like, why don't you have Lynda anymore? We do. It just got bought by LinkedIn Learning.
Yes. So when you go to our website, you're going to want to look for LinkedIn Learning. And it's a great resource for people who are trying to increase their skills that might be relevant in the workplace or to try to get jobs. You can take classes on any kind of office software, Word, Excel. You can take classes on using technology, the AV technology that we're using at the moment. You can take classes on just like workplace skills like management and leadership and things like that. So it can help prepare you for further opportunities. It's something we tell like new employees, like this resource is here for you. And I think a lot of people don't realize that we have that as a resource here at the library. Other online resources, I mean, obviously the books that you can get now, you can download audiobooks and ebooks. Have we talked about that a lot in podcasts before?
Yeah, we always talk. Libby always comes
It
up.
all, she's
I could talk about it
ever present,
all
Libby.
day, yeah. And yeah, we have resources for all ages. So if you have children that are in school, of course, we have resources where they can find information, they can find sources for papers that they might need to write, college students. We have interesting little databases like Auto Repair Reference Center is where you can look up how much should that job have actually cost me at the shop. And you know,
I don't know if I want that information.
if you're handy at all, you can look up like wiring layouts and things like that. So we have some for traveling, we have some for learning languages, we have some that are not only help you read books, but also you can listen to music and watch movies online. So those online resources are a huge part of what we're offering.
And it's one thing that's kind of hard for us to communicate, because if you see, like, normal person off the street sees the word database, like if anything, it makes you think like, I am not doing research in college anymore. I do not need a database. But there's a lot of things that we aren't sure exactly what to call them all the time in order to like communicate what they do, because there's also one we didn't mention was there's one on investing. And so there's just lots of these little collections of information that you have access to, and you really don't know what your library has until you go and ask them. So we have a lot of really cool things that can help you do really fun things, that can help you get educated, again, help your kids. Like there's all of these things, and we never know exactly what to call them, but we call them databases or resources. And hopefully when you see those words, that'll trigger something like, what could possibly be here that might enrich my life?
There's a possibility that we may have a future podcast episode called Databases, Boring Words, Great Services.
That's basically what it is.
It is. It's so, and even just today I was looking, we're working on getting some stuff translated into Spanish, some of our library signage and like welcome pamphlets and stuff. Lincoln Learning has courses about computers, about things, in Spanish, and actually like a bunch of other languages too. So even if you're like an English language learner, I mean, they have like business talk for English language learners, but they also have like, here's how to do JavaScript, but the course is in Spanish. Like that's an amazing resource, and that's not something, like our librarians are so amazing, and we have a collection of languages among us, but we just can't teach a course in JavaScript in Finnish. No, maybe.
No, I'm going to solid say that's not something we can offer.
No, Mariah speaks Finnish.
But does she write Java?
No.
Okay.
No. So
Connecting
those skills and those languages. So we pay people to do it for us. It's cool.
Another category of technology that we offer is, instead of being online, it's what you can use in person. So we have quite a few things. This is what I could go on all day about. We have boxes of STEM-related toys that you can check out from the reference desks. We have some of the little bits, the little circuit connectors that are magnetic and snap together, and you can help teach your kids coding skills and programming skills with those types of toys. We have different things that we're circulating now. We have projector systems and audio systems. We have hotspots that I just used when I went on a trip recently. It was super helpful. We just walked around Disneyland and we had Wi-Fi the whole time. It was so cool. And we got that from the library.
Your local library,
Yeah.
making all of your Disneyland internet needs possible.
Yeah. We have Chromebooks that we're circulating as well. What are the cool things am I missing?
Telescopes. We have, there's some toys that you can check out. What is the Osmo?
Oh, the Osmo. I had that on hold and I forgot to pick it up. Librarians are bad at it too.
No, your children will never know.
They'll never
all
know.
the things that they could learn.
Yeah, it's
through
like a
Osmo.
thing that connects to an iPad and you can do things.
There's audio video equipment that you can check out. So if you want to learn how to, like, I think the camera specifically is like super helpful because people that really want to get in photography and those cameras are expensive. So being able to like mess with one or try some things, see if this is like a natural, you like take several photographs and you're like, I was born to do this. And then you know that if you buy your own camera, it's worth it. But things like that, we like to make sure that we have as many of those kinds of tools available that, again, like you can test them out. Even our video game collection, I think, is really valuable that way too, because video games are expensive. We know because we started buying them. But like,
Did you buy a Switch?
Oh no, not me.
Oh,
I mean, the But before that, I didn't know because I
Did
don't
you
have
care?
a Switch. I know.
I've
someday.
invested in this.
But you go check out the video game from the library, and they're like, "Oh, actually, this is really fun, and we really like it." And
Sometimes you don't know if you're going to like a game until you try playing it. So it's nice to not have any kind of pay that you have to do to test out a game. And then if you really like it, then you could purchase it.
and not necessarily technology, but then we have board games as well, which is kind of the same thing because some of those are really, really expensive, and to play it a few times with your family is kind of
Blockbuster, I miss sometimes, but don't because the library is better.
And streaming. You don't have to leave your house to get a movie. So.
So great.
The other kind of technology opportunity that we're offering is programming. So we're just starting up a teen coding club this month, which is going to be great. And oh gosh, I have to check my notes for the other thing. Oh, this lab that we're sitting in right now. That probably should have been obvious to me. We have podcasting classes that we're teaching. I probably should have taken one before coming to this. And we also have what other classes?
We did one on portrait photography last night. I'm looking at the person behind the camera. You don't know that, but did people come? Yes, she is nodding. People came. Portrait photography, we've done audio editing. So because it's one thing to record and it's another thing to actually like, okay, now what do I have? How do I make
What do
this
I
into
do
a
with
thing?
this? Yeah.
So we've done that class once or twice. And I mean, every month we do classes about sort of the general equipment and audio recording too. And then it's just kind of like what people, if we have a bunch of people that are like, I really want to learn how to light something, then we'll do a lighting class or
Yeah, so we
stuff
can
like
kind of
that.
tailor it to what people are wanting. And those stations where you can edit what you produce in the lab are so valuable. We have people who use them every day.
Yeah.
We also have stations where you can transfer older formats like VHS tapes and audio cassettes into digital formats. And just as a PDA, those formats are dying. Like the magnetic is like going to go in those soon. So come into the library, use our transfer stations, and preserve those like old home videos.
I read a thing about why Gen Xers are always angry. This is a joke. Gen Xers are not always angry. But it's like they bought a record collection and had to replace it with a tape and then with a CD and then with digital. And like, how many times do I need to pay to listen to my music? No more. Just transfer it from your from transfer your
Aren't we back
mix.
to LPs?
And now we're back to
Yeah.
LPs. Technology comes full circle.
Just like our wardrobes.
Soon, instead of writing on tablets, we will back to stone tablets. Just kidding. We will not.
Never going back.
Speaking of never going back, how do we stay up to date? How do we make sure that we're not a fuddy-duddy library? How do we stay up to date?
You know, I think for me, I feel like it's people come in and ask for things. And I think listening to what people are asking questions about is a big thing. Plus, we go to conferences and we read things. And in fact, we pick up, this is how I know I'm trying really hard to stay up to date. I pick up magazines that I don't understand anything in them. I pick up computers in libraries and I like understand a few of the words and I'm like, I feel like we're doing good. I'm pretty sure I understand most of this. And then I give it to our computer guys and they confirm that we are just fine. But
I know some of these
I know
words.
some of these words. But that's why we have amazing people on staff that take care of my computer so that they can say to me, turn it off and turn it back on again. Because you always need that reminder.
But looking out into the library world is totally a thing. I think we're looking to see what other libraries are doing, and they're really pioneering some interesting things. So we're always trying to pay attention to that. Also, it's driven by the librarians that we have on staff. We have amazing people who are excited about new technologies. They want to test it out. They want to see if it could be useful for our community. And so people are usually driving a lot of the things that we're doing here at the library. So the Basement Creative Lab, that was kind of your baby. And for me, I was really excited when Google Fiber came to Provo City. And so contacting them and seeing if we could partner with them to provide some opportunities, see if we could do anything cool. They actually brought a whole batch of Google Glass, the setup that you put on your head. And we
For
had
VR or
like a
of
VR. We
the-
did a VR session for families. So parents and their kids like all crammed into one of our rooms and they all were like looking around together. It was just so cute, So yeah, just whatever librarians get excited about is usually the direction that we're heading in as far as technology goes.
Yeah, we like to use passion. Whatever passions people bring, we try to use them to make sure that we're providing opportunities for our patrons.
Yeah. And I do like that responsiveness as well. I mean, I think about even just in the last year, like somebody came to us and said, I love that you guys have free Wi-Fi and I love working up on the quiet floor, but I actually hate working on my laptop. But I need my files. Can I get a monitor? And we're like, yeah, we can do that. I say, I'm not taking any credit for this. It was these two ladies. And, converted some of our computer stations into just monitor stations. So you can, if you want to use your own computer, but you want a bigger setup.
Because you always do. Bigger screen.
Yeah, we actually just had somebody say that they were interested in having software where you can plan out floor plans for your house. And I was like, maybe we can get that. And so we're actually looking into it. We're going to have it on those Basement Creative
Mac?
Lab. Yeah,
Cool.
on the Mac station soon.
Cool.
So yeah, if we have interest from our community as well, that's definitely something that we're looking at and asking ourselves, could we provide this? Because we want to do that.
Sometimes we can't.
Sometimes we can't.
If we can.
We try. If
We
we
have we have not. Do I even want to say this? We have not hopped on board the 3D printer thing. It's okay. We can move on. But yeah, I definitely think that people asking for things, we are so responsive. Ask for what you want. You don't get things you don't ask for.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Actually, sometimes you do.
Because someone else asked for it.
We try and anticipate those needs. Okay. Last question, the far frontier. Where are libraries headed, technologically speaking, and where are we headed? What kinds of things do we think are on the horizon for us?
I mean, I think if you look at technology horizons, everybody's jumping on the same thing, which is AI. Where is it going to take us? What is it going to be? Really don't know. I know there are some companies who are trying to find ways to market AI services to libraries so that someone can come in and not have to pay for their own AI, but have like a session and be able to go. Anyways, I know there's some companies working on that, and I think that would be really exciting because AI, I don't know. I've tried to I listen to the podcasts and I try to read articles and figure out how this is going to help us. But I understand they're actually pretty good. They can be pretty good at recommending books because that's kind of an easy thing you download, you put in all of the books and anyways. I don't get AI, obviously. I don't have the words for it, but
even if it's a matter of creating access to AI, if there's going to be some cool AI product that's behind a paywall, if the library can look into if we can provide that for people, we're going to be looking into those kinds of things.
Yeah, so. It freaked me out at one point because I listened to a podcast that was talking about the barrier that AI has already started to create, where there are people who have access to it and people who don't have access to it, and it's going to just make that digital divide bigger, because there are ways that can enhance what you can do and your life in some ways, and if people don't have access to it, then they just fall a little bit further behind. And so we really are looking at, and this is by we, I mean the whole library field, how do we enter into this? How do we make this? But I think we continue to listen to what people are asking for, making sure that we, whenever we can, provide technology for people, that we're giving them opportunities to experience with it. And for kids as well. I mean, a lot of parents, you have a iPad at home and you feel like your kids get plenty of screen time, but there are kids who don't have that at home. And when they come to the library, it's an opportunity for them to interact with technology, so that they are more prepared when they go into school, because you're just in life, you're not going to be able to avoid that. So, and there's always the smart usage and trying to teach all of us how to healthy use our phones and healthy use our screens. Well, but it's important to have those opportunities for interaction.
Yeah, it is because I think even about my own kids who, yes, plenty of screens, they're fine. But I think about what a social currency a lot of technology uses right now. My son and his friends, they're all about Minecraft, and they're talking about Minecraft all the time and playing it all the time and everything. And if there's a kid who doesn't have that at home, it's not just that he doesn't get to play Minecraft and that's a sad craftless life for him, but also this is a way to engage with your peers, just furthering the argument for why we need Minecraft computers in the children's department.
And we've had parents come and say, thank you so much, we can't afford to have a Minecraft subscription, and this is the only time my child has this. And it makes you feel other. I mean, I grew up, I'm not going to date, I'm just going to say, I did not have the cartridgey thing. I didn't have a Nintendo. We just didn't grow up playing those games, and every once in a while I did feel kind of I am lame. I don't have this, and I hate for kids to not be able to know how to use a computer or different. My child was over at her house recently, and she had no idea. They handed her a joystick panel thing, and she's like, I don't even know what to do with this.
Oh, that could be such a funny.
She can come to the library and we
she
can
come
help
to the
her.
library
We
and
can
learn.
show her.
She knows how to watch things on her tablet. We don't do games very much, so my child is falling behind. It's cool.
It is cool. What is cool is thinking that there's technology that hasn't been invented yet that the library is going to be looking at in the future. We'll be providing. My hot tip for the day is to go up to any librarian in the library and ask them, hey, what cool new stuff do you guys have that you're providing? They'll get so excited. I get excited when people ask me this, because we want to show you what's new. We want to show you what we're rolling out recently, and it's so great when people are asking us and interested in what we're doing. So
Hey, Breanne.
yeah. What cool
new things do we have that you're excited about?
Okay, the thing I'm excited about is the seed library. This is not technology, okay, so it's a little off topic, but we have a seed library now, and you can come into the library, especially it's August, okay, so it's fall. People are going to start harvesting soon, and you're going to have seeds. If you have them, bring them into the library, because we have this community resource where you can donate, and it will benefit other people next spring when they want to withdraw. So cool. Yeah, and it's all free, of course, because it's the library. So.
What cool new thing are you excited about?
I think you're going to ask that. I don't have anything today.
Oh, that's okay.
Okay, my life, August has killed me.
It's a rough one.
I'm hoping in September I have room in my life for excitement again. Erica, what are you excited about?
So one of the things that I'm excited about, it's so boring to talk about, but I think it's such a good move that we have made, is actually in how people reserve things at the library. Breanne's like, oh.
No, I'm actually
It's
excited
hard.
about
Yeah.
this too.
It's a lot of work, and we're still in the process of transitioning some things over, but we have a new system where you can reserve things for certain dates.
Yes.
And that's so important because, like, you might want to have the telescope available to see. I'm going to reveal I know nothing about astronomy.
Meteor shower.
A meteor shower. And it's probably reserved for them already. But wouldn't it be nice to know, like, not just to jump in a hold queue and, like, luck of the draw, when am I going to get this telescope? But you can.
If you know that you're planning a trip to Arches National Park or one of these
Or perhaps
parks,
Disneyland.
yeah, maybe not Disneyland. There's a lot of light pollution there, but yeah, for the telescopes,
for
if
the
you're going to one of those star parks where you can see all these like amazing constellations, being able to reserve a telescope for the date that you're going on your trip is fantastic. We haven't been able to provide it up till now. We didn't have the technology, but we have it now.
The technology.
So we're actually really excited to be able to make that more convenient for people. So yeah.
Yeah, so I'm excited about that. I keep trying to find fun ways to spin it in an email. Did okay, I think. But yeah, like one of my challenges is describing boring things in like, no, you should be excited about this. Reservation system. It's great. Okay, do we want to ask? You're not obsessed with any books. You had a terrible month.
I feel like I did just finish a book that I really liked, but of course the title has escaped me. Oh. But it was something about someone.
Something about someone. I have also liked a book.
Oh, I know. It was the mostly true adventures of Tanner and Louise. Is that right?
That sounds bad.
Something like that. And it was like a Thelma and Louise kind of a old lady, young girl going on this adventure, running from the FBI, and they're both very spunky. It was cute.
I love old lady books. Like
a very
spunky
good
old
lady.
Like spunky old lady
She
books.
was a very spunky old lady, and she was kind of hilarious.
I'm really excited about mine. It's called Vera Wong's Unsolicited Advice for Murderers. And it's also an old lady book, which apparently we have a type here. But it's an older lady. She is Chinese, and she runs a little tea shop that's kind of like dwindling. It doesn't have as many people coming in anymore. And then there's a murder in her shop, and she has like a body, and she is such a character. She's so excited, and she wants to help solve the murder, but she's like this older lady who, is a little kooky. So it's adorable. It's so delightful. So I'm telling everybody about it right now. So.
Did you read a book about an old lady?
I did not. I can say my favorite old lady book is The Switch by Beth O'Leary, which is not a new book. It's just, it's a great old lady book. Or Iona Iverson's Rules for Commuting is also a great old lady book. Yes. Actually I read that one this year, but neither of which I'm going to talk about right now. I just finished Tress of the Emerald Sea, which it feels... In Provo, Utah, is it a useful book recommendation? Have you tried Brandon Sanderson?
Everybody's tried Brandon.
Everybody's tried Brandon Sanderson, and actually with good reason. I don't believe that Brandon Sanderson will be listening to this podcast. I keep like wanting to be like, Brandon Sanderson, so many. He's such a good writer. And so I'm like, well, I just can't. Yeah. This is a good one. And I love listening to his author's note at the end. Like, here's my ideas for like, this happened and this happened. I thought, what? And then I just sat down and wrote a book. Sure. Like most of us during the pandemic. Just wrote a couple
cranked
secret
out
books.
3 or 4 giant manuscripts. Yeah,
no big deal. But it
was really cute.
It was good. I liked the world. I liked the character, Tress.
For some reason, I didn't not till the very end when he was like, what would Princess Bride be like if Princess Buttercup went after her man instead of just sitting around.
And you went, you just were in that movie for me.
She was kind of, anyway.
Very, very passive, that one. Yeah. Tress, not passive. Good one.
She went after her man.
She did.
Anyway.
Good books, good technologies all around. Yeah. Any final thoughts? No. Come to the library, see what cool things we have.